Now, I have with me in the studio, Gani Faniyi is back here with us on this side of the discussion. Gani, it's good to have you join us again. Thank you. Happy New Year again and again. And I also have joining me now as well, a one-time member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Ayodele Fadeyi. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
All right,
to see you.
Let me start with you, Honorable Fadeyi. Now, the point there is, 2019 has been described as a very dramatic year for a lot of people and all of that. I remember having you here sometime in 2019 and we discussed a lot of things and so on. Now, we're looking into the new year, 2020. Very soon the president is going to outline what he has done in 2019 and how the new year is going to look like, especially has to do with this budget and you know, all his policies and all of that. From where you're sitting down, from in your own mind, what are you looking, what are the positives you're looking at into 2020?
You see, the president is a very simple person, but the people that surround him are very difficult people. That is number one. You see, when you look at what happened recently, a lot of people thought if they come to APC, they committed crime in the past and they come to APC or holding a certain position, they are safe. That is no more the issue.
But there were reports credited to the national chairman of the party that when you cross over to this party, your sins are forgiven.
You see, he only talks politics. Is not the operator of EFCC.
Right. But do you think that 2020 will be better than 2019?
I can assure you, okay, 2020, this year, is going to be a better year because, you see, the president, for him to reschedule the budget that is going to run from January to December, is applause.
Okay.
A lot of people might not know, it's applause. But when you look at the other time, from 1999 till 2019, you see shady things, budget this time, and it takes a longer time to even approve it.
But some would say it is one thing to reschedule the calendar, yes, and have it from January to December.
Yes.
It's another thing to make it perform. Because that is the crux of the issue.
The people at the ends of affairs at the National Assembly now, you might look at them as trojans. They are not. They monitor things.
Okay.
Especially the one that in the House of Rep, the speaker there. Yes. And the people that surround them, they want things, they want betterment for the people of this country.
All right, but he's just first amongst equals. And from, yes, the National Assembly, like you have said, one of the most recently controversial issues is the 37 billion naira earmark for renovation of the National Assembly, which Nigerians feel that,
yes, you are right,
is not justifiable.
You are right.
But we'll come to you. Let me put you, okay, on hold a little and bring
Thank you.
Gani Faniyi into the discussion right now. Now, Gani, when it comes to the analysis of issues of this country, even those in primary school seem to have an idea of what challenges Nigeria has. And when it comes to what do you think we should do, people in secondary school, people in universities, almost everyone has, you know, one solution or the other. This is what we should do for Nigeria too. This is the challenge of Nigeria. This is what we have to do and all of that. But it is always a different ball game from understanding the problem and then those who have what it takes to change the problem.
You've said it all, that virtually everyone knows what is going on. But the willpower is what is not there. And it is quite unfortunate because I believe politics ought to be a means to a very good end that will deliver what we call the greatest good for the greatest number. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is the opposite. How could somebody my brother, go to a place to work for 4 years and he takes pension for the rest of his life. You want to see that there are ulterior motives. What we have come to know, though most of us grew up during the military years, is that you work for a specific number of years in the public service. There had been political appointees before now that are not entitled. We can see them. His generation, we can see them who went to the assembly and I'm not sure he's taking salary or pension as he is. So those are the issues we are talking about. And every person knows what is going on. And that is, politics has been commercialized. It is not just service. It is becoming what you can call a kind of camorra, in which case people join together to do things that are not noble enough. Otherwise, things ought not to be what they are today because of the resources that are available. I am not a prophet, and I don't want to sound as if I'm a pessimist.
All right.
I believe that unless we come to terms, there are a number of things Nigerians have been harping on. Nobody should go to the National Assembly or the State House of Assembly and expect to be paid full time. Who has control over them? Tell me. If they don't go there. Part time. People who want to serve must have other means of livelihood that are known to the rest of us. You can't just come from nowhere. So these are the things that are confusing people between intentions and what we see, or what you say and the reality.
Okay, let me put you on hold. We have Kabir Shittu joining us from Abuja studio. Kabir, it's good to have you join us still. Now, when we talk about the good old days, certainly the First and Second Republic, one way or the other in Nigeria, can be seen as good old days. The days where there was a lot of, when you compare the naira to the dollar, you know, things, all of those, you know, rhetoric at that time. The resources at that time may still be with us right now, if not much more. But when it comes to how things worked at that time and how things are working now, a lot of people say that the population at that time was not as much as what we have right now. Nigeria is growing, the population is growing at about 3% per annum. Do you think that is one of the bigger challenges that we have right now facing our social, our economic, and our political life as a country?
No, it's not a problem. Population to us should be an advantage. All you look at Indian, you look at China, these are very large population in billions, but today they are developed world. It is just for us to have a mindset. We must change our mindset to believe in our own country first, to believe in ourselves. And that is why we said, let's fashion our economic development. Let's give us ourselves a blueprint. That will help us. Let us go back to nature. Where do we start? In 60s and 50s and 70s, agriculture take the economic of this country 70%. Today, we have abandoned that. And that is the only free giving gift from God that we have. We have greens everywhere in Nigeria, and therefore we must as people harness this, and that is why we must as people support the issue of CBN banning some product, i.e. the cotton that they are banned today. Nigerians should go back to cotton farming. Secondly, they have said, look, we must ban rice. Country that cannot feed itself and not clothe itself has not come to term. Therefore, we must strive in 2020 to make sure that this country feeds itself. We don't import anything food. And secondly, we also does not as people import wares. We must be able to clothe ourselves. 2020, we must resolve this issue. And that is why Nigerians should rise to believe in our country and believe in our product, and know that definitely until we are able as people to do all this for ourselves, we're going nowhere.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Honorable Fadeyi in here. Now, there's something he mentioned there which will resonate with a lot of Nigerians, and that is patronizing made in Nigeria goods, made in Nigeria. Eat what we grow, and we grow what we eat. Now, we have seen even the past governments talk about the issue of Nigerians patronizing made in Nigeria goods, from clothing to shoes to leather to even electronics and even to cars right now. How much of that can change the fortune of the country?
Thank you very much. You see, changing the fortune of this country lies in the hand. It's a collective thing. But one thing I know specifically is simple. Let the leaders themselves, let them check themselves.
Is that where it starts from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When you look at in the past, it's called something Operation Feed the Nation. How many does
That was in 1979,
yes,
1978,
how many people does that work for? Yes. The people at the ends of affairs then, they just corner everything to themselves. It's just like capturing the land. Fertile places in the land, they capture it and they fence it and they say, they obtain all the papers and they said it belongs to them. So the poor farmers who have been laboring for a very long years, and their children saw the activities or the way they were being pushed off, they were discouraged. That is one aspect. When you listen to Fela's music, he said all these things in the past. But the desire is an Amugo man. No, inspiration. But I can tell you one thing. If the leaders, from the president, even up to the last councillor, if they can leave very good example, buy Agbada, buy Kampala, buy Akara, buy this fake people's cloth, or the one being weared by Rotimi Amici sometimes, while and the president governor, we South wears, in short.
Yeah.
Then who am I? You yourself, you should put on native today, or with traditional wear. Yeah.
Okay.
In order for you.
Yeah. All right. We have to leave it here now. Thank you very much, Honorable Ayodele Fadeyi. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
Yes. Gani Faniyi, thank you so much for coming as well.
It's my pleasure all the time.
Exactly. All right.